If your conditional formatting works on a few cells but stops halfway down the column, the problem is almost always the same. The rule exists, but the applies to range is wrong.
Excel only formats the cells listed there, even if you think you selected the whole column.
The good news is you can fix it in under a minute once you know where to look. First, remember that conditional formatting is two parts. There's the logic, like highlight blanks or greater than 0. And there's the target range, which is the set of cells Excel is allowed to format. When the target range is too small, it looks like the rule is broken. It isn't. In the next steps, you'll learn how to read the applies to box, expand it safely, and avoid the common traps that make the range shrink again later. You'll also learn when you should not apply to the entire column. Next step. Before changing anything, confirm the symptom in a precise way. Does the formatting stop at a specific row number, like row 500 or 1000? That often means the rule was created when only that many rows were selected. Or does it stop right after a blank row? That can hint at a range that was built from a filtered list or a copied block. Another clue is whether new rows you add at the bottom stay unformatted. If they do, your rule is not attached to a table or an entire column reference. Also check if only some cells in the same row format correctly. That usually means multiple rules overlap, and one rule's applies to range is different from the others. The point of this quick check is simple. You want to know whether you have one bad range or several rules with mismatched ranges. Once you know that, the fix is straightforward, and you won't accidentally break other formatting. Next step. Now go to the one place that matters, the Conditional Formatting Rules Manager. This is where Excel reveals the truth about what the rule applies to. In the Rules Manager, make sure you're viewing the correct scope. Excel can show rules for the current selection, the entire worksheet, or sometimes a specific table. If you only view current selection, you might miss the real rule that controls the column. Switch the drop-down to show all rules for the worksheet, so you can find the one you care about. Then look for the Applies To column. This is the exact address Excel will format, like $B$D/B200. If your data goes to row 5000, that's your issue. Also note whether the address is absolute with $signs. That's normal. What matters is whether the range actually covers the rows you need. Next step. Let's fix the most common case. The applies to range is simply too short. In the Rules Manager, select the rule, then edit the applies to box. You can type a new range directly, like $B$2 to $B$10. Or you can use the range selector to pick the correct span. If you truly want the entire column, you can set it to $B$B. That tells Excel the rule is allowed to format any cell in column B. After you update the range, confirm that the rule preview still looks right. Then apply and close. One caution, if your formula inside the rule uses relative references, expanding the range can expose mistakes that were hidden before. So after expanding, spot check a few rows near the top and near the bottom. Next step. A lot of conditional formatting uses formulas, and formula rules are where range issues get confusing. Here's the key idea. The formula is evaluated as if it starts at the top left cell of the applies to range. Then Excel fills that logic down and across. So if your applies to starts at B2, your formula should usually be written as if it's sitting in B2. For example, if you want to highlight B when A is blank, you'd use something like equals A2 equals while applying to $B$2 $B$10,000. Notice the column is locked, but the row is relative. If you accidentally write equals A$2 equals, every row will check only A2. That can make it look like formatting randomly stops working. Fixing the applies to range is step 1. Fixing the reference style inside the formula is step 2. Next step. Another reason formatting won't cover the full column is that the rule got split into multiple rules. This happens a lot after copying and pasting, inserting rows, or using Format Painter. Excel may create separate rules with different applies to blocks, like $B$2 $B200 and $B$201 $B400. The formatting looks similar, but it's actually fragmented. The fix is to consolidate. In the Rules Manager, sort by the applies to column mentally, and look for repeated rules with the same condition. If they match, delete the duplicates and keep one clean rule. Then set its applies to the full intended range. This reduces conflicts, makes the workbook faster, and prevents the stops halfway problem from returning after the next paste operation. Next step. Now let's talk about a smarter approach than formatting an entire column. Use an Excel table. When your data is in a table, conditional formatting can automatically extend as you add new rows. That's often what people really want when they say entire column. In a table, you can apply the rule to the table column, and Excel will keep it attached to the growing dataset. This avoids the need to guess how many rows you'll need, like 10,000 or 100,000. It also reduces the risk of formatting empty cells far below your data, which can slow calculation. If your workbook is meant to be updated over time, tables are usually the cleanest long-term fix. You still need to verify the applies to target, but it will reference the table column rather than a fixed row range. Next step. Sometimes the applies to range looks correct, yet the formatting still doesn't show on some rows. In that case, check for hidden blockers. First, conditional formatting has rule priority. A rule higher in the list can override a lower rule, especially if stop if true is enabled. Second, cells may have different data types. For example, a number stored as text won't behave the same in comparisons. Third, merged cells can cause unpredictable coverage, and they often break the idea of a clean column range. Fourth, if the worksheet is filtered, you might assume formatting is missing, when those rows are simply hidden. The fix here is not just expanding applies to. It's making sure the rule order is correct, the data is consistent, and the layout is friendly to rules that fill down. Next step. Let's cover one subtle but common mistake: using entire column references inside the conditional formatting formula. For example, writing something like equals countif $b$b$b2 It can work, but it can also be slow, and in some files it leads to lag that feels like formatting isn't applying. A safer pattern is to limit the formula's scan range to a realistic dataset size, like $b$2 $b$5000, or to use a table column reference. Also, avoid volatile functions in conditional formatting when possible, because they recalculate often. If you truly need an entire column rule, keep the formula simple. Comparisons like B2 equals 0 or B2 0 are lightweight. Heavy aggregation across whole columns is where performance issues show up, especially when you apply the rule to $b$b. Next step. Here's a reliable workflow when you inherit a messy sheet and need a clean fix. First, pick one cell that formats correctly and one that doesn't. Open the Rules Manager and compare which rules apply to each cell. If the broken cell isn't included in the applies to range, expand the range. If it is included, check rule priority and stop if true. Next, confirm the rule type. If it's a formula rule, rewrite the formula as if it starts at the first cell of the range. Then, remove duplicates and consolidate split rules. Finally, decide whether to target a fixed range, an entire column, or a table column. This workflow prevents guessing. It also keeps you from rebuilding rules from scratch, which often introduces new reference mistakes. Next step. Let's talk about the trade-off of applying conditional formatting to an entire column. It's convenient, but it can increase file size and calculation time, because Excel has to consider over 1 million cells in that column. If your rule is simple and your sheet is small, you may never notice, but in larger workbooks, it can slow scrolling, editing, and recalculation. A practical compromise is to apply the rule to a generous but finite range, like $b$2 $b$2000, based on the maximum rows you realistically expect. Another compromise is a table, because it stays tight to your data. The best choice depends on how the sheet is used. If it's a template that grows unpredictably, a table is usually best. If it's a fixed report, a bounded range is often better. Next step. One more thing that causes the applies to range to behave strangely is copying formatted cells into the column. When you paste, Excel may bring conditional formatting rules along and create new ones that only cover the pasted block. If you want to keep your original rule intact, use paste options that avoid bringing formatting, like pasting values only. Or after pasting, immediately check the Rules Manager for newly created duplicate rules. If your team shares the file, this is worth standardizing, because it prevents rule fragmentation over time. Also, consider protecting the sheet structure if the conditional formatting is critical, so the rule set stays stable. You don't need to lock everything down. You just want to reduce the accidental edits that break the applies to coverage. Next step. To wrap it up, the fix comes down to one question. Is the cell you care about inside the applies to range? If not, expand it, or switch to a table so it grows automatically. If it is inside the range, then the issue is usually rule priority, stop if true, or a formula reference that's anchored wrong. Keep your rules consolidated, and be cautious with entire column formulas that scan huge ranges. If you want one quick best practice, it's this. Write formula rules as if they start in the first cell of the applies to range, then expand the range only after the logic is correct. If this walkthrough helped, subscribe for more Excel fixes that focus on the real root cause, not workarounds. And for a quick check, comment with your preference. Do you format a bounded range, or the entire column, A or B? I'm always testing new ways to work smarter. Subscribe to see what workflow I'm breaking down next.